Because it does take a lot of effort and energy and consistency. That's like the biggest part of it. But there's been like little things along the way, like mean comments or me feeling like I'm so like, oh, I can't film because my kids are having too much fun and they're too loud. And just like little things like that. And then it's like, that's not more important than go play with your kids. I would just say if anybody is doing this, just keep doing it. Because I put out this one video and for like 4 months, no one watched it. And I was like, man, that was a really good one. Like,
It's not just that the church needs to be keeping up with the times changing too, but I mean, even like your field, you can bring that into this as well. It's not just one area, one specific thing that's like, well, if you don't catch up, you're out.
It's an undervalued tool because we have one idea of what missions and ministry and learning almost looks like, but the world is different. We live very differently now than we did 50 years ago. And if we don't keep up, we're just going to be silent. So we have to be part of it.
Greetings and welcome to another episode. I'm Ross and I'm with Jess. Jess, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
We're here in the midst of another Medialight session here in Chiang Rai, Thailand, here on our Medialight campus. And Jess has been teaching the subject of social media and specifically strategy about going about that whole process to our students here. So we wanted to sit down with Jess and have a conversation about what she does with her ministry here, or on YouTube specifically, but just have a conversation with you and learn a little bit about what you're doing and how you got into it. And I have multiple questions, but first of all, again, thank you for being here. So you are a content creator on YouTube.
Yes, I started making YouTube videos last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so very new. I'm very new to it.
Okay, all right. But you did not just one day think, I'm just going to make videos on YouTube and begin, right? There was something more to you beginning this, right? Okay, so could you just briefly explain kind of why you got into this? What inspired you to get into making videos on YouTube?
Okay. After I had, first, my videos on YouTube are all about guiding mothers through the first year after childbirth.
Okay.
So that they're given the resources and tools they need for breastfeeding, for understanding how their body changes after birth, and how to take care of a baby. Because unfortunately, we are not given this information. We're just kind of handed a baby and like, good luck. You got this. So when I gave birth, I struggled so hard and there was no one to go to. And I just started like in this downward spiral. And so I decided I'm going to become the person I wish I could have gone to, like educated, empathetic, understanding all of these different facets. And my college degree is in childhood development. So I'm already very interested in that. And so I started to learn. I put in all these hours, spent a lot of money on my education. And I got to like the final level of what you can reach in this field. And by that time, I had 3 children. So I didn't want to be away from home very much. So I was like, okay, how can I get this information out without taking so much time away from my own children? Because I want to be home. And one of my friends is a content creator. She runs like a cooking channel on TikTok and Instagram, and she does amazingly well.
Okay.
And she has been trying to get me to do this for a long time. And I was like, I don't know what I can do with this. And so she pushed me and my mom pushed me. And then it was like, you can help. You can just put out all this information and then people will find it because people are looking for it and you can be at home. So it's like a perfect mix. Like I'm using this knowledge and the skill and I'm able to work with moms and I can also be at home at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it great that we live in a world that you can do that?
Yeah.
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 Okay, so you said that you got to the extent that you could in this field, but you still wanted to be at home with 3 children, but you wanted to get this information out. Now, if you didn't have YouTube as a platform to use, what would have been perhaps a traditional platform to do that? How would you have been able to do what you wanted to do?
Typically, what I do is I do home visits. Okay. So doctors will call me when they can't figure out how to feed a baby or if the mom is really struggling. and they'll refer their patients to me, and I go visit them at home. I have the option to keep clinical hours at the doctor's office as well, but when you've had a baby, you just want to be home. You don't want to be constantly going back and forth to the doctor's office.
Right.
So I like to go into their space, but I don't want to rush it. Like, there's the traditional way to do this, right? Which is very like, you pay for an hour. And that was another thing. I have a really hard time charging for this. I'm the worst businesswoman in the world.
I can relate to that.
And so it's just, I would go to people's homes and I'd spend 3 hours there. And it's like, I have 6 bookings today. I can't do this. Like, I'm away from my home all day long, and I don't want to rush through this time with them. So I just kind of knew during this season when my kids are so young, I'll just focus on online stuff, and then I'll pick up more of the home visits again after they're all in school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was your original plan.
Yes.
So you did it for a year, you said?
Yeah.
Or how long did you commit to just do it at the beginning while my kids are still young?
For the YouTube one?
Yeah. Did you have like a time
Yes,
frame
it was
in
1
mind?
year. It was like, because my mom pushed me into this training and like how to actually run a YouTube channel, and how great if you can also make a passive income off of it.
Right, for
and
sure.
so that would be awesome. And so in that video course, they're like, really, you should stick with it for 2 years and do 1 video a week for 2 years. That's quite a big commitment to like really sign up for.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I will do this for 1 year. This is my commitment to myself. I'm going to just make as much as I can, and I'm not going to be overcritical. I'm just going to base it off of science. And it's okay if I'm like learning how to be on camera during this time.
Right.
But I just wanted the information that the moms get to be top quality and something that you would pay a lot of money to get that information.
Yeah.
But it should be available to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's so many different directions I think this conversation could go, all of which would be extremely valuable. So I find myself choosing which question I want to ask you next. But
Do you want to talk about breastfeeding?
well, that's always on my mind. No, it's not, by the way. I've actually never, ever thought to search. Well, actually, I didn't even know this entire field existed.
Yeah.
Why would I?
Well, can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
What do you think is the leading cause of death for mothers in the Western world? This is Europe, America, all this. For that first year after birth.
The leading cause of
The
death?
leading cause of death.
Wow. I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
It's suicide.
Is it suicide?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking along the lines of depression.
Yeah. It's just like there's so much struggle, like mental struggle that goes into this. And breastfeeding ends up being a big part of that.
Right.
Because we attach so much of our like quality of nurture in the way that we feed our baby, even though it's like the way you feed your baby doesn't determine your value as a parent, but we attach so much emotional weight on this topic. And it is a difficult thing. And a lot of people think it's just natural. But so many people struggle with it, and they struggle silently.
I really appreciate how you wanted to focus on a topic that really is it's not emphasized. It's not talked about, really. The need for it to be talked about is high. Like, everyone needs to have this information. Well, perhaps me less so, but all women need to have access to this information, right? Like, this is extremely helpful. And yet there's just not, unless you're getting these visits, these hospital visits or home visits or something like that, you just don't even know. Like, what do I do in this situation? What happens when this happens? So you've chosen a very specific topic to focus on, but it's really, really important. And so I think that in itself is really valuable, and you wanting it to be widely available to everyone. So what better platform than YouTube or like, the highly democratized internet where everybody can just go. You're doing this, and that in itself, I immediately see it as extremely valuable. How do you make it available? Like, it is available already, but how do you get it before the people who need to see it?
Yep.
It's like, that's really hard.
Yeah, because anybody can start a YouTube channel, but it's
Right.
like, how do you actually make your videos be seen
Right.
by the people that you want to see it?
Right.
There's like we covered it in the class this week, which is how to break everything down really simply and there's a way that you title your videos based on who you're speaking to and the topic that you're covering. And you look at keywords and you use like basic terms that people are constantly going to be typing in so that you can get your videos better chance of being seen as a new creator.
Okay.
But there are ways to hack the system.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to push your video out. You just have to get the tools to do it. And it's actually pretty simple. And honestly, it's like, yeah, YouTube can be a daunting beast to take on, but all it takes is consistency and then understanding your audience, because everything else can flow from that.
Right.
But you have to stick with it, and you need to know the keywords.
When you started, you didn't have any prior YouTube video making experience with this, right? So it was really, I have this knowledge. I have this struggle. I want people who also have had this struggle to not have this struggle. I want to get this information before them. And then your mom and your friend were like, why don't you try this out? And then sure, I'll do that. So, but you said that you were okay if over the process of making these videos for that first year commitment, you said it would be okay if I sort of learn how to become more comfortable on camera, as long as I'm presenting the information that I really want to be presented. But how was that initial experience of getting started? What was perhaps the most difficult part of just getting started and making videos on YouTube?
I think practically it was figuring out how to film because I have the 3 kids. But technically I think it was probably the research phase of it, is like trying to really narrow down what do you actually want to do. Because if I ask tons of people, most of us have a ton of ideas. And even myself, I'm constantly having to pull myself back in and be like, nope, you want to talk about this thing. This is not what the channel is about. It's about this, you know? And so it's like really figuring out your audience and stick with it. Stick with it for a while, and then as time goes on, then you can expand a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. You think of like all the great YouTubers, that's how they start. They start super, super narrow in their niche. And then as they built up like a community online, they're able to speak about a little bit of different things.
Just practically, I'm thinking, for example, of, because I the thing that keeps coming in my mind is just how helpful you're like bringing this really great help to an audience that needs that really great help in a very accessible manner through YouTube videos. And so I can think of so many other subjects and so many other topics within the church even that perhaps for whatever reason, human society, whatever it may be, certain topics are not really talked about too much.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean everyone's okay. Like we really actually do need to have those conversations. And so maybe even face-to-face conversations, again, for various reasons, might be too difficult. But if you do something like this, then you can talk about it and it's more accessible and there's less pressure perhaps. So like I think what you're doing could be easily transferred and applied in so many different other ways too. And so for me, I could become someone like you where it's like, I have this thing that I really think needs to be talked about. Nobody's talking about it. I have this information. I have this knowledge. Sure, I need to research more before I make episodes, but I can do that. And then this is just a completely new way. Otherwise, it's like I need to go home visits and this is so much of my daytime is gone. So you do this on YouTube and you commit for a year. So did you end up getting that time that you were wanting by transferring it to doing it in this way, like conveying that information online through YouTube videos?
The time at home?
Yes. Did you end up getting that time?
Definitely. And it's honestly taught me a whole lot about like even just time management and figuring out myself and figuring out the way I can do this, because I have my kids at home. I also work from home, and I've just started homeschooling them.
Oh, wow.
So it's like there's a lot. I really overdo
You like
things.
challenges.
Yes, I do. I like to make things as hard as possible for myself.
Yeah, it seems so.
So it's like, it's really, if I want to keep this going, I have to figure out how to prioritize different things and what actually matters, like what really matters. And honestly, like if I think about the online world, I think it's where we're our most honest selves. And I don't mean like me in front of camera. I'm talking about my search history.
Sure.
There's this one book called Everybody Lies, and even though like all these things are being reported differently, they'll go through people's search like data, and that's how they know how many kids are being abused. Like, because kids are typing in like, why does mommy hit me? Like that kind of stuff. And so the online world is where we're our most vulnerable and our most open, and we're actively seeking for answers. And like we are asking very personal questions to Google
or ChatGPT
or YouTube, and we will get answers. So it's important for us who have these convictions and have these ethics and have this belief to be able to give an answer as well, because people will find answers. We need to make sure the truth is on there too.
I've had a conversation with another friend of mine recently about, even is ministry possible through social media? And the outcome of that conversation is yes, it is. And then you can do it in different ways. But it's all about finding your voice, who you are, what you want to say, what message do you have, finding your audience, who do you want to speak to, and then working on how to bridge that gap and convey your message to the right people. And you're pretty much saying the same thing. Your platform is YouTube. Your message is very specific. Your audience is very specific. So you're not just casting this wide net and hoping something jumps in. Like, you're being very intentional about everything. But I'm seeing it like yours is lactation. Could I say it's how would you just in one phrase describe the subject material?
I would describe it as holistic postpartum care.
Holistic postpartum care. Okay, that's your channel. Just as easily, exactly what you're doing can be done by, I'm thinking like pastors, seminary professors, seminary leaders, leaders in nonprofit organizations. They could all do the same exact thing. They have an audience, they have a message, they have something they want to say, and there are people, like you're saying, who are searching extremely personal questions, extremely specific questions. You mentioned titling your videos that makes it accessible to your audience. Is there a way you can find out who's searching what? Like, let's say I've got this really great idea. I know there's got to be people out here searching for it, but how do I get that information? What do I do? What's the next step?
Like how do you actually find out if people are interested in what you're trying to talk about?
Like, what can I do? How can I search what people are searching?
Yeah. There's paid tools for that, of course. But there's also just the simple autofill that you'll find on Google and on YouTube. So if you just start typing in your question, it's going to auto-populate. It's going to like automatically put up what other people are searching and what they think you're going to end your sentence with. And it's going to suggest videos for you. But
so I could take that and
you can take
build
it,
off of
but
that?
do it in an incognito mode, because it is going to curate the answers for you based on your history already.
Right.
So if you really want to see like from a blank slate, they don't have the data to like pull like, ooh, I think Ross will really like this video, so I'm just going to push that one up. And go to an incognito mode and then just start typing in the question, see what pops up. Because that's what's going to be suggested to someone that they're just building the data off of.
Okay. I have a specific topic. For example, postpartum. I don't even know what question I would ask.
Do something that like you're interested in.
Okay, let's just say music creation software for beginners.
Yes.
Let's just say something like that. Is there a way that I can find out how popular a search is?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a paid tool, which is called Keywords Everywhere. I love it. I use it. It's very cheap. But basically, it will pull up how many people per month are typing in exactly these different words. Music software for beginners, music for beginners. All of these are different combination of keywords, and it will tell you how popular this term is in different areas. So that's like one easy way to see the numbers. It's like, oh, this one's getting a lot, so I should probably make a video on that topic.
Right. Yeah. As long as it fits into my specific message that I have to say and fitting my audience.
Yep.
I am really amazed that we have all of these tools I mean, you said that one's paid, but still, like the fact that that's even a thing that I can know what other people are searching.
There's free ones too. There's
Right.
like alsoask.com and Answer the Public. Those two are free, but you only get like 3 searches for free, and then you have to start paying for it.
It's just really cool to me that we can do this because, you know, there are still a lot of people who are missing the opportunity of using YouTube or other social media platforms or just the internet in general to reach a wider audience. Because like you said, I mean, you could do what you're doing offline and like that would be a career and you could do that. But now you're able to reach a global audience potentially just because of the nature of the platform. So for you committed to a year, but you're still doing it. So what kept you continuing?
The moms who would message me, like they would, in the comments, they'd ask me questions, or they'd find my Instagram and just send me personal messages, and I'd work with them through different situations. But it's like just how vulnerable and upfront they were with all sorts of things. They don't know me, but they're just immediately trusting me because they watched a video that I put out there. And so just knowing something is helping, I just keep making them.
Yeah. Presumably you're not putting on like a facade. You're just being you, right?
Yeah. So
And
my goal is just to get like 1% better each time I film, like become a little bit more concise in what I'm saying. And like, because I've never enjoyed being in front of the camera. I've always been behind it. And so it's been a big learning curve for me. And it's definitely taught me a lot.
It's not only that you're able to make these sorts of videos in a very specific subject and get it in front of a lot of people, but you're discovering that there's communication going back and forth. It's not you putting out things and just out, but there's input too.
A lot.
So would you say that you have developed some community aspect around your channel in this way?
Definitely, yeah. I think it's like I'm still learning and I'm in the beginning stages of it, but I can see the potential where it's like it could become a very meaningful community where we just are involved in each other's lives, because so many people are just isolated and they're just going to their phone and they don't have community. They don't have help. And so we're building a lot of relationships online. That's how, I mean, so much online dating.
Yeah.
So many things are happening online. School is online.
True.
The phone is where a lot of our social life, and like the internet is where our social life takes place. So it's also where we're being shaped. And I think it's very important for people who are in charge of churches, in charge of schools, any kind of believer in any sort of shape or form, to see this as a legitimate way to build community and speak into people's lives and encourage them and tell them about God and tell them about the change that's happened in their own lives. It's an undervalued tool because we have one idea of what missions and ministry and learning almost looks like, but the world is different.
Right.
Like we live very differently now than we did 50 years ago.
Right.
And if we don't keep up, we're just going to be silenced. So we have to be part of it.
Yeah. And it's not just that the church needs to be keeping up with the times changing too, but I mean, even like your field, like you can bring that into this as well. It's not just one area, one specific thing that's like, well, if you don't catch up, you're out.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that could need to make this transition faster or like more committed. So, okay. So you have done that and you're still doing that now, and your success is such a subjective term, and it's really hard. Like there's no real way to gauge it. But would you say that you feel satisfied in what you're doing?
Yes. I think when I first began, I had the wrong intention in my mind almost, where it's like, yes, I wanted to spread out this information, but I was also so focused on like, how do I make an income off of this? Because it's costing my family. Like there's certain like softwares I was using that's like every month I'm paying for this and I don't make anything. And I remember opening up my Instagram and just being like so sick and tired of everybody having something to sell me. And it's like almost every post, they're selling me something. And then even these guys that I was following because he was doing videos on like studying, like ways to study. And I was studying for a board exam. He started now making a course on how to succeed in Instagram. And I was like, everybody's selling me something. So it's like at that point, I knew like I can't become that because my mind was so focused for the beginning, like couple months where it's like, I have to be monetized. I have to like reach these milestones. That's like, you're reaching success, you know, you're making money and you're learning how to sell to your community. It's like, I kind of stepped back from it for a second. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. And so my definition of success really changed. I don't look at any numbers anymore. It's like, I'm not watching the subscriber count. I'm not watching how many views I'm getting. And when I started doing that, because honestly, I really felt like God was telling me, just do the work. Trust me with the results. I will take care of your family, but do what is on your heart and what you're supposed to be doing. And that is providing top quality care to mothers who are at home and isolated. And so when I started doing that, I wasn't even putting in the effort or the hours or like, how do I improve this? And already it's like, I reached those kind of milestones of like, now you're monetized, now you're this, now you're that. And it didn't matter as much to me anymore, to be honest. So the way that I feel like, I am successful is I got to have a conversation with a mom this week while I was teaching here and figure out what was the problem and help her like kind of encourage her and then get her past it so that she could enjoy her motherhood. And it's like, that's success.
Appreciate that.
That's really made it more like the purpose behind what I'm doing because it's so easy to get caught up in the numbers, especially when you're beginning and especially when every YouTube class is about the numbers.
Yeah, for sure. I would say from someone with much less experience than you, I think it's really, really common to approach any sort of online presence as a striving to become famous or become well-known or verified or whatever it is.
Or make a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the feeds always will feed into that.
Yes.
It's like,
yeah.
Man, look at how this guy's dressed. Look at what he has. Look at the place this person's living in. Like, I could do that too. And then you try. And then all of your motivation is entirely ill-founded. So your focus is more on just the one person.
Yeah.
If I can just help this one lady.
If all this effort for this video just helps one person, it's worth it. You know? And it's like, and before I was so caught up on the number.
Yeah.
And I felt really convicted on it. Where it's like, you are not going to enjoy this work and your work is going to be subpar if that's all you're focused on. It's like, and when that flipped, I really enjoy it now. I see the value in it. And I'm still excited when I hit those traditional milestones. Like I celebrated it. I got a little ice cream, Haagen-Dazs, and just like enjoyed it with my husband. And it was exciting, but it's like it wasn't the heart of it.
Right.
And that made it feel so much lighter. But it is cool at the same time that there is an opportunity to create a passive income where you don't even have to like sell anything to anybody. Right. You just make enough good quality things and YouTube will just pay you.
And you're doing ideally, you're doing something that you're really passionate about. So like, well, I don't actually have any statistical basis on this statement, but I would presume not everyone gets to do that. That's really cool. I think it's really cool that you get to do something that you're extremely passionate about. And not only do you feel personal satisfaction, but you sort of get this affirmation, right, of what you're doing is really good too. So far we've kind of been talking about like how well everything is going and this and that. But as much as we've been talking about the successes and things going well and, you know, the excitement of going through all of this and producing a channel and creating a community and really making an impact on individual lives, I would imagine, as with any new venture, there have been challenges, there have been difficulties. So do you have any specific times where you've been questioning, is it even worth continuing doing this?
I think there's been a lot of times. And even now, I'll also think like, should I keep doing this? You know, like even though things go well, because it does take a lot of effort and energy and consistency. That's like the biggest part of it. But there's been like little things along the way, like mean comments or, you know, me feeling like I'm so like, oh, I can't film because my kids are having too much fun and they're too loud, and just like little things like that. And then it's like, that's not more important than go play with your kids. Also the time management aspect of it. And then the lack of movement, like how some things will just sit for a long time. And you know, this was great. Like I really put a lot of effort into this video, and like 30 people are seeing it, you know? And it's like, and you, it's just that numbers thing. It's like that numbers. And like, it is a good teacher, right? It'll show you when something's like, oh, it really works. But then we can put so much effort and like focus on it. And I would just say, if anybody is doing this, just keep doing it. Because I've put out some things where I put out this one video and for like 4 months, no one watched it. And I was like, man, that was a really good one. Like I worked hard on that. And then like 4 months later, it shot up. And it's like, sometimes it's just time. It just needs some time. And so just don't quit too soon. Stick with it, because just because something's hard doesn't mean it's not worth doing.
Yeah. And I can relate to what you're talking about with that one video, because I think there have been many times where I've made something and I'm really proud of this thing, but everyone's talking about this thing. It's like, but what about this thing over here? And nobody's really paying attention to it.
Yep.
And then eventually maybe they do, but maybe they also don't. And that, like you said, that sort of helps you. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't do something like this, but maybe people really need more something like this. So I think that's perhaps you need to be flexible. Like you've got your focus, you know what you need to do, but you also need to be, because it's sort of like a back and forth, you kind of need to be aware of what your audience is needing, right?
Yeah, and the different levels of questions that they'll have. But honestly, I like hack my own videos like this, where at the end or in the middle of one, I'll be like, but if you really want to know about that, you should watch this one. And it's like, this is the one I really like. I really want you to see this. You clicked on this one, but this one will be more helpful to you.
Interesting.
And so I'll try to loop them into that one, that it's like, if you're watching this, that means you're going to have that question next, or you had that question before, but somehow you're on this one. And so I'll try to like loop them that way sometimes.
Yeah, that's really cool. We could keep asking you different questions and you could keep providing such insightful answers, but you have really helped to, for me specifically, but I hope with our viewers as well, that you've helped open our minds to completely new ways of approaching conveying our message, like conveying something that we really believe in and valuable information, but then providing or illuminating us to an entirely underutilized platform, like you were saying. I really appreciate you being here and talking with me about this. I pray that you may continue to feel satisfaction in your channel, you know, as you're doing this in your life, and that you continue to be blessed as you do this. And I pray that that community continues to grow. And I really hope that you have enjoyed this conversation with Jess and me as well. And I pray that you will see a potential for you to use YouTube or any other social media to reach an audience that's there. They're searching for these things. They have a desire. Like Jess was saying, we're most vulnerable online, and online is most of our daily life. So it's not just part of our life and we live a lot of it offline. We're online and people are here. They need answers to questions. They need help. They need guidance. They need a community. And Jess is saying that we can do all of that online. So media is the language that we must speak to access this group, this audience. And if you are interested in learning how to access that community, access that audience, learn this new language more than you feel competent now, Medialight is here to help you. We would love to come alongside and work together with you. And if you're interested in that, we have links below that you can click and find out more information. But until then, see you in another episode.
See you, pizza.